you're having a good night. So tonight I'm gonna do something a little different than what I've been doing with the tapping and the scratching and all that. Tonight I'm just gonna talk, soft-spoken / whispered, but while I'm doing it, I'm gonna drink some whiskey. Before I start to drink this, I want to mention that I was inspired / encouraged to make this video by Triple Distilled Tingles ASMR. He's a newer ASMR channel, but I've really enjoyed watching his videos. And he has a few videos of him drinking whiskey and just rambling about random topics. I don't have one set topic. I'm probably gonna go all over the place tonight, but I've definitely really enjoyed watching his channel. If you haven't checked it out yet, go check out Triple Distilled Tingles ASMR. Triple Distilled. Triple Distilled. Yeah, I'm gonna do what he did, and I'm gonna take a shot of this before I make a drink. Alright. Shot glass. It's got a cupcake on it. I should have done this at a table. I'm sitting on my couch. This was dumb. Alright. I'm not gonna do a full shot. Like, half a shot. I know I'm the worst. Let's see. Alright, ready? Alright. Cheers. That is certainly whiskey. Yes, it is. I should mention that I had a surgery about a year ago, and because of that surgery, I get super drunk, super fast. So this could be a lot of fun. I don't drink too often, but when I do, it's just boom, drunk immediately. But I sober up again in 20 minutes, so it's a little bit of a roller coaster. It's a wild ride. So I'm gonna make a drink now. My only drinkware is Halloween-themed wine glasses. So I've got this. I think I got this at the Dollar Tree. It's got a blue sugar skull on it. I already put the ice in it. So I'm gonna pour my whiskey. I think that's kind of a lot. I don't know how to pour liquor. I'm really bad at this. I'm gonna have to put the lid back on that eventually. Why didn't I do this at a table? Alright. And then I got some ginger ale to go with it. I don't drink much carbonation, so I'm gonna try not to burp all over the place tonight. Let's see, is this gonna fizz? Alright. I definitely think there's way more whiskey in this than I want there to be. Alright, before I drink that, let me put the caps back on these things. Ready? I didn't have a mixer for the whiskey for this video, so I had to run across the street really quick to the convenience store and get this ginger ale. I'm glad I got there before they were closed. Otherwise I would have been drinking straight whiskey and that would have been a bad time. Like, just me drinking straight whiskey for any given amount of time is not good. I should mention that the only reason I have this Jameson is because my friend's wedding anniversary was on Halloween, and she asked me to make her an anniversary cake, and I had mentioned to her a chocolate whiskey cake I'd made for a friend a few months back before COVID, and she really wanted a whiskey chocolate cake, and I know she loves Jameson because I've gone nights drinking a bunch of Jameson with her. So I made her a Jameson chocolate anniversary cake with bats and skulls and like black and red flowers. It was really cool. Alright, so I guess it's time to start drinking for real. Cheers. This is strong. There's quite a bit of whiskey in this. Okay. So this is gonna be fun. Yeah, I should have made note cards or something with like talking points of things that I wanted to talk about in this video. I guess I'll just start by introducing myself. My name is Amanda. That's my real first name, is Amanda. I live in the United States. I live in New England. I've been watching ASMR videos on YouTube for probably about 4 years now. Most nights I can't fall asleep without some combination of ASMR, Ambien, and medical marijuana. Those three things are pretty much what I need to fall asleep. Some nights I can go without the Ambien, but you know, I have a really hard time sleeping. I always have. But the thing about it is, with using all those crutches for help with sleep, I often have crazy, wild dreams. Like, and I wake up and I can barely remember them, but I know that I had some sort of weird, crazy, out-of-this-world dream. I don't know, the other day I had a dream about, like, throwing a birthday party for children, but it wasn't my own child. Or maybe in the dream I had other children, but either way. I dreamed that I had bought like a bunch of supplies from Whole Foods and I threw a children's birthday party, but not for my kid, so sorry to my child. I decided to film this from a little bit of a different angle tonight than I usually do. Usually I'm sitting on the floor right there, but with my back facing that way. So you get to see a little bit of a different view of my living room today. You can see over there, like right there, my Freddy Krueger poster fell off the wall because I hang everything with command strips because I rent, so I don't want to put holes in the wall. The other day, we had an earthquake and Freddy fell. Also on this bookshelf over here, I have, the bottom shelf is actually books. The middle shelf is candles. I have a lot of candles. I'm obsessed with candles. You've probably seen my my candle video where I went over a bunch of the candles that I have and I tapped and scratched and made lid sounds and all that good stuff. And then on the third shelf up here I have tarot cards. I do read tarot cards as a hobby. I'm not very good at it. Still trying to hone my intuition and all that good stuff, but I have quite a few decks. I just like the different theme decks and I just keep buying them. I haven't even used all of them yet. I ended up giving some as gifts because I just bought so many. And then next to that is my Halloween tree. I've talked about my Halloween tree in other videos. It's just like a 4-foot tall Christmas tree that I put Halloween ornaments and a witch's hat on. I really love Halloween, if you couldn't gather from me how I look, how my living room looks, and all that other stuff. I love Halloween, I love horror, all that good stuff. Yeah, one of my favorite horror movie of all time is Nightmare on Elm Street. I absolutely love Freddy Krueger. You can see I've got a whole Freddy Krueger collection. This whole shelf right here is all Freddy Krueger. And up there I've got an Elm Street street sign. There's more. You can't see, it goes down a lot lower, but I've got a lot of Freddy Krueger stuff over there. I am planning on doing a video of just my Freddy Krueger collection. Eventually. Maybe I'll do it in costume, in full Freddy makeup. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Something else I love. Music. My favorite band, one of my favorite bands is the Misfits. I started listening to them in high school, and that just opened the door for all other horror punk bands. I listen to all sorts of music, but my go-tos have always been horror punk and psychobilly. It's been absolute hell not being able to go to see live shows these past few months because of COVID. I really miss. So I'm friends with a lot of local bands, and I used to live in the Boston area, and I made friends with a whole bunch of people in the Boston local music scene, and I would go to shows every weekend, and I still try to. I don't live in Boston anymore, but I try to. But I really miss going to shows. I would go to local shows every weekend. I miss going to sketchy dive bars. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I miss going to sketchy dive bars and seeing local bands play, and just the energy and seeing friends and everything about it. There's really not much like it for me. It's a lot of fun. I miss it. I can't wait until I can go to a local show again. I want to see my friends. I miss my friends. I miss music. I miss it all. But speaking of horror punk and the Misfits, did anyone else get to see the Misfits reunion tour a few years ago? Or not a tour, but they did a few one-off shows. I know they started at Riot Fest, and then they did a few one-off shows here and there. I think they did like maybe 10 or fewer. I did end up getting to see them in their home state of New Jersey, and it was worth it. The ticket was not cheap at all, but worth it. Excuse me. Oh, this is gonna be so bad. I'm gonna be gassy and burping for this whole video. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I really love the Misfits. I've loved them since I was 16 years old. When it was just the Jerry Only Misfits, and Jerry Only was touring, trying to keep the music alive, and it was Jerry Only on bass and vocals, and then it was Des Cadena on guitar, and then Goat on the drums. I saw that lineup probably about 20 times. I love the Misfits. I've got this Misfits tattoo, and then on my lower back I've got one that I'm not going to show you, and it says Dig Up Her Bones, which was the first song I ever heard by the Misfits. And underneath that, when I was, I think, maybe 19 years old, I went to a Misfits show, and I got Jerry Only to sign my back right underneath the Misfits tattoo. And then the next day I went to the tattoo shop, and I got them to tattoo Jerry Only's signature over his actual signature. So I've got Jerry Only's signature forever tattooed on my back. And like, obviously when I really love something, I get multiple tattoos of that thing. So like, I've got the 2 Misfits tattoos. I've got this Freddy Krueger tattoo. It says glove, and it says sweet dreams. And then I've got this one. It's a portrait. This was the most recent tattoo I got done. I got it finished in July, and it's now November. Yeah. That's something fun to talk about. Let's talk about tattoos. I've got this one that's been unfinished for about 7 years now. It's a music staff and like a big treble clef, and it's supposed to have like a rainbow coming down here. It's supposed to eventually be a whole half sleeve, but I haven't. I'm such a slacker. I haven't had anything done to it in about 7 years now. The Freddy Krueger portrait originally had it had another tattoo under it. It was a zombie pinup girl, but I kind of outgrew how that looked, and that Freddy is a cover-up, so I got him done over it. I think you guys have all seen the bats behind my ears. Little bats back there. It's the easiest tattoo I've ever had done. I've also got one on my head, but you can't see it because I've got hair now. It's a Minnie Mouse bow. I got it done by the bassist of one of my favorite bands, which is Blitzkid. It's another horror punk band. I like them a lot. They're supposed to be doing a reunion tour soon. It was supposed to happen this fall, but with COVID, it was originally supposed to be last spring, and then with COVID, it got postponed to the fall. And because of COVID, again, got postponed to this coming spring, so eventually I'll get to go see the Blitzkid tour. So Argyle Goolsby is the name of the artist that tattooed my head. And there's that one. Can you see that? So I got this. It's really bad. I got it done in a basement on my 21st birthday. It's the dark mark from Harry Potter. It's supposed to mean that I'm a Death Eater. I'm eventually gonna get that covered up because it's not good. I actually think it was a kitchen, and maybe it was a bedroom. It was in someone's house. That's the important thing. It wasn't in a tattoo studio. I was dumb. Don't be like me. And then I've got next to that I've got this pineapple tattoo that I showed you in my candle video. It's a pineapple and it says Lauren underneath it. Lauren was my sister's name. My sister passed away a few years ago. Her and I were really close, but I got the tattoo to, honor her memory. So that's that one. I've got Medusa on this arm. I've still got one session I've got to get her finished. I've got one on my thumb. It's a little stick and poke that I did myself. I'm trying really hard not to burp really loud. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I've got a little stick and poke I did on my thumb. I need to ask one of my artists to fix this up the next time I see them. The rest are going to be harder to show you because they're not. I've got a cupcake on my back there because I'm a pastry chef. I'm not going to try and bend and show you the other ones. Yeah. Do any of you guys have tattoos? I love hearing stories about people's tattoos. It's always fun to learn a little bit about people in ways like that. Let's see, what else is there to talk about? It's unseasonably warm for November. It was like 75 degrees out earlier. I only left the house today because earlier I was scrolling on Facebook Marketplace. I was posting a few things, listing a few things, trying to make some space, get rid of some things, and make some money while I'm at it. But while I was scrolling, I came across a listing for a a sewing machine desk, a sewing machine table. It's one of those desks and it's got a sewing machine in it and it just pops out. It's really cool. My grandma had one when I was growing up and I loved it. So I found one. I found a listing. I just happened to stumble across one on Facebook Marketplace and it was free in perfect working condition. So I messaged the girl and she was like, yeah, come by in an hour and you can pick it up. So I went to pick it up and it's a beautiful, beautiful teal, like blue teal color. It's really nice. It's still in my car because I live on the second floor and I can't lift it up the stairs myself. But you know, I have an SUV, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna come pick it up. So she helped me load it into the car and then I don't know, I'll figure out how to get it up here eventually. The desk itself is in a little bit of a rough condition, so I'm gonna kind of refinish the desk. I haven't yet decided if I want to do my usual, you know, paint everything black and make it like black and teal, or if I'm going to go with the kind of theme of the whole thing itself and make it like 1950s and do it like pink and teal. And I think that would be really cool too. Just that wouldn't go with anything in my apartment. Everything up here is like spooky, but worth it maybe. I'll put it in my room. No one ever goes in there. But the whole point of that story was that I went outside and realized that it was super warm out because it's November 9th. Literally 10 days ago it was snowing here in New England, in my home where I live. It was snowing. It was snowing the day before Halloween. But here we are. It was 75 degrees out today. I wore like yoga pants and a t-shirt and flip-flops and I was warm. I bought a new winter coat last week because I thought I was gonna need it. No. Like I'm sitting here in like a tank top and shorts recording this video because it's so warm in my apartment. This tank top, it says the only man for me is Mothman. Gotta love those cryptids. I do love Mothman. I've got a Mothman decal on my car. I made it myself. I do make vinyl decals. I do a lot of crafty, creative stuff. I've got an Etsy shop where I sell things. Right now what I'm selling on Etsy is mostly masks because of COVID. A lot of people are buying them, so I'm making them and selling them. By profession, my career, I guess, is I'm a pastry chef. I bake. Mostly I like to decorate cakes. The crazier the better. I love doing like big, out of control, like wedding cakes and like crazy, like lots of colors and like go big or go home. That's my motto. But I also have a 4-year-old, so childcare was a real issue because of COVID. So I ended up, I didn't necessarily quit, but I also didn't necessarily get fired. It was like a whole big weird thing back in June where I ended up losing my job because of COVID, because of childcare, and because I'm immunocompromised, and I was working in a place where I was in contact with the public a lot, and they wouldn't let me work in the prep room, which would have gotten me away from the public and enabled me to do my job. And I couldn't risk getting COVID and bringing it home to my son and giving it to my grandma, who would help me watch my son. So I've been out of work since June because of COVID. Basically because of COVID. So I've been home. I make cakes from home, pastries from home, I make masks from home, I pick up odd jobs. It's been a wild ride. I recently found some leads for jobs that are work from home for the time being, so I'm gonna be sending my applications in probably tomorrow, honestly, when I wake up. I just updated my resume and all that good stuff, so Excuse me. Oh, there's a tattoo I didn't show you. This is my friend's band, the Devil's Twins. It says, "Still I'm proud of the skeleton living in me," which is the name of one of their songs. Well, the name of their song is "The Skeleton Living in Me." But I love this song. And so I got their band logo, but I got the lyrics to make up their band logo. It's like the Sideways 2. Definitely check them out. They are the Devil's Twins out of Boston, Massachusetts. Actually, their singer Nicole, she did this tattoo. She's a tattoo artist. And she also did my Blitz Kid tattoo, which is on my thigh. I can't show it to you. She's a great tattoo artist. And I love the Devil's Twins. They're a great band, so check them out. Actually, the artist who did this tattoo is also in a band that I go to see a lot. The band is called Damnation, and they're also out of Boston, Massachusetts. So, check them out too. Brad, their bassist, he did my Freddy Krueger. He's insanely talented tattoo artist. There's actually a story about this tattoo where, so I got this cover-up started about 4.5 years ago, because Freddy's a cover-up, like I said earlier. So I got Freddy started like 4.5 years ago. Brad started him, and I sat for like 5 hours. And then we scheduled an appointment for me to go back and finish it and, you know, get everything done, have a really cool tattoo. And then the day before my appointment, I think, alright, sit down and buckle up for this wild ride. So the day before my appointment, I went to the hospital because I was having like some issues, and so I went to work that morning, and I just did my job like normal. Like, I made a wedding cake, and then I went to my boss and I was like, "Hey, you know, I'm having these issues. Can I go to the hospital? Can I go to the ER? And then like later when I figure out what's up and I get help, I'll come back and like clean up and finish whatever I need to do." And she was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever. Like, I'll have our delivery driver give you a ride there so you don't have to walk." And I was like, "Awesome, thanks." Excuse me. So I went to the hospital and I was like, "These are the issues I'm having." And they were like, "All right, we're gonna do some tests." And one of those tests was an ultrasound. I found out that day that I was 8 months pregnant and in labor. I did not know that I was pregnant until I went into the hospital that day. And I found out that I was 8 months pregnant and in labor. 9 hours later, I had my son via emergency C-section. So, yeah, I texted my tattoo artist from my hospital bed, and I was like, "Hey, here, have a cute picture of my son." And he was like, "You don't have a kid." And I was like, "Oh, but I do. I have to cancel my appointment. I'm sorry." And he was with the rest of his band, and I'm friends with all of them. And he was like, "Holy crap, Amanda just had a baby." And they're like, "What?" "No, you're kidding. There's no way." But like, yes way. I was that girl. I didn't know I was pregnant. Yeah. I saw my whole family like maybe a week and a half before I had my son, and they were like, "Wow, you look great. You look like you've lost weight." And I was like, "Yeah, I feel great. Like, I was just in West Virginia last week rock climbing. You know, it's been, yeah, I feel great." And then I had a baby. I mean, it's worth mentioning that at the time I weighed probably at least like 70 or 80 pounds more than I do now. So, not realizing that I was pregnant or not showing wasn't as big of a deal as it would be now. Like, if I was pregnant now, you'd probably be able to tell, but at the time it was just, nah, not pregnant. But I was. He was perfectly healthy. I mean, apart from being a preemie, he was small, but he's doing great now. He's a perfectly normal little kid. Yeah. So that was my crazy story of a lifetime. boss and tell her that I wasn't coming back to work because I was having a kid. Whoops. Oh, yeah. Man, I really should have made a card with, like, talking points or something. I don't know what to talk about. I'll dance. So, tap on my nails. Look, here's the thing I made. It's a bathrobe pillow. It's cute little. You've probably seen this in the background of all of my videos prior to this. He was actually, when I made my living room curtains, I had, like, I think maybe 1.5 yards of leftover fabric. So I made 6 of these guys, and I kept one, and I sold the rest on Etsy. So I sold 5 of these guys on Etsy. I kept one because he matches perfectly to my curtains, obviously, because it's the same fabric. I sew a lot, obviously, because I went out of my way to not buy, or just pick up a sewing machine table today. That's still in the back of my car. I'll have to find a friend to help me bring it up here eventually. It's not very heavy, just I can't lift it by myself. I'll definitely need a friend to help me carry it. Again, I've been making masks. I've actually got a pile of masks that I've got right here. Fall-colored masks. They're not sewn together or anything yet, but I've got like just like fall colors, fun stuff, like weird turkey feathers. This is cute. This one. I don't know, what else do I have? Leaves. I like this one a lot. I'd make one of those for myself. Turkeys. Yeah. Again, I'll link my Etsy down below if you want to take a look and maybe order some masks from me. I only ship to the US, unfortunately, right now, but maybe eventually I'll ship to other countries. It's just expensive to ship to other countries, and I offer free shipping on my masks, so you know. I do a lot of crafty sewing things. I make a lot of dresses, or I used to make a lot of dresses. When I was losing weight, it was I went from a size 24 jeans to now I'm in a size 10 jeans, so over the course of a year. So it didn't make sense to put a lot of effort into making clothes during that time. I bought all my clothes from thrift shops because I was going through sizes so fast. But soon I'm going to start making dresses again. I'm like maybe 20 pounds away from my goal weight. So soon I'll start making dresses again. I also paint. You can't see it right now, but usually when I'm sitting down there, you can see a painting in the background of Frankenstein's monster and The Bride of Frankenstein. And that's probably my favorite painting I've ever done. Maybe I'll do a video of me doing a painting, just brush and paint sounds. I think that would be cool. I also bought a vinyl machine, a vinyl cutter, like a cutting. It's a Silhouette Cameo 4, and so I make like vinyl decals for cars, and like I make vinyl, like I'll do custom masks with logos or words or whatever. So that's been cool doing that. What other hobbies do I have? I used to make candles and bath bombs and soaps, and I've been thinking I might want to start that up again. I've got a ton of supplies. I've got so many crafting supplies. But I'm thinking I might want to start making like candles and bath bombs and soaps again, selling them on Etsy because now I've got all this free time, so why not, right? I like to do things that are more like natural as opposed to things that are like jam-packed with chemicals. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But as far as hobbies that aren't like super crafty or things like that, I love doing musical theater. I did my first musical when I was 8 or 9 years old, and it was Cinderella. But like the Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella, not like the Disney Cinderella. I was a mouse, and I was a coachman. Maybe I wasn't a coach. I was definitely a mouse. I know that much. I was so young, I don't remember. And I did probably like 9 or 10 musicals in my childhood. Not many well-known ones. I did do Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. I did Annie Warbucks, which is the sequel to Annie, the lesser-known sequel to Annie. Hello Dolly, Bye Bye Birdie. It's just regional theater stuff, like for children. And then, Oliver. That's one that people know. And then I went a few years without doing any theater. And then, as an adult, I started getting into it again. And my first show back into theater was the Rocky Horror Show. And it was so much fun, like getting to be on stage again. The first year I did it, I was just a Transylvania, and I came into the auditions late, and they were like, well, you've got a nice voice, so we're going to cast you, but like all the principals were already cast, like, would you like to be a Transylvanian? And I was like, yes, definitely. And the costumes for Transylvanians were like, I wore this like skin tight black vinyl dress that it went down to like my upper thighs, and like it was a tank top, but it was like cut down to my belly button and then like laced up in the front. And then I wore it with like black fishnets and like knee-high black patent leather boots. And then I had a mohawk. So that was a costume. Time warping in those boots was not easy. Excuse me. The second year I did Rocky Horror, I was a Transylvanian, and also I was an usherette. In the stage version, the usherette gets to sing science fiction double feature, which is the song the Lips sing in the movie. And I was so excited. There were 2 of us. I sang the first verse, and the other girl sang the second verse, and then just duetted at the end. That was a lot of fun. I loved getting to, sing my solo on stage. Rocky Horror, it's such a fun show. I can't wait till COVID is over and I can start doing musical theater again. I really want to do Rocky again. Like, I met a lot of really great friends through musical theater. The second show I did after Rocky was Hair, which is a musical set in the 1960s, if you're not familiar. And there's a nude scene in Hair, so we all just our whole cast, like, not our whole cast, I think there were like 16 people in the cast, and then 12 of us just at the end of the first act we just stripped down and got naked and went and stood on stage. And it was I was super nervous about it. I really didn't want to do it, but then once we all did it, I was happy I did, because it's kind of freeing and liberating. It was nice. That show was a lot of fun too. I had short hair at the time and I had to wear a wig. Then I did Godspell. Now, I'm not a religious person. I'm really not. We did Godspell, and I was like, I don't know what the show was about. And one of the guys in the cast was like, oh, it's just Bible stories. And I was like, I've never read the Bible. I don't know what any of this means. but it was a lot of fun. That show was extra fun because one of the things I pride myself on is that I can hit super high notes when I sing. And one of the songs in that show, We Beseech Thee, in the middle where they're doing the like craziness with all the sound effects and everything at the end of that, I don't remember, I think it's a high D, but I was the only one in the cast who could hit it. So like in the middle of this song every night, I just like screeched my note as loud as I could in everyone's ears. The reactions the first time I did it were I lived on them. Man, I miss singing so much. After that we did The Producers. If you're not familiar with that one, there's a movie version of it also, and it's got Uma Thurman in it, and it's got Matthew Broderick and why am I drawing a blank on his name? I've watched this movie a million times. Nathan Lane, Matthew Broderick, and Uma Thurman, and Will Ferrell is in it. It's a fun movie. It was such a fun show to do. I was also an usherette in that one, so I also got to sing the opening number in that show. It was the opening night. It's opening night. Producers is really an ensemble show, and all the roles I got to play were so much fun. I got to be an usherette. I got to be a little old lady doing the walker dance. It was so much fun, like dancing on walkers. I was a goofy Bavarian, so I got to wear one of the like Bavarian costumes, but I was also the boob girl, so like one of the guys had to like, it was funny, I had to be like, whoa, boobs, like one of the guys was looking. That was a lot of fun. And then I was a pigeon. I still have my pigeon puppet from that show, actually. We had pigeon puppets, so like we had to be like ducking down and like holding up our pigeon puppets and like singing and dancing, but like singing in coos because we were pigeons. So we were like, crow, crow. What other roles did I play? Was that it? Nope. So if you're not familiar with The Producers, it is a Mel, I always confuse Mel Gibson and Mel Brooks, the one who didn't do The Passion of the Christ. He wrote it. God, I'm drunk. Send help. But so I also played a dancing Nazi. It's a comedy musical. Like, it's not terribly offensive if you haven't seen it. Like, I feel like I shouldn't have opened this can of worms. But I was also a dancing Nazi, and I was also a singing Hitler in this show. So just check out the show if you haven't. You'll understand way better what I'm talking about if you check out the show. But I've always been a singer since I was young. My grandma raised me, and she had me taking voice lessons and guitar lessons when I was young. I've always been a very musical person. When I fresh out of high school, I was a music major my first semester of college. I was a huge music theory nerd. When taking voice lessons, I started singing opera. Excuse me. So when I was in college, I was an opera singer. I haven't sang opera in a while, though. It's really been a while. Yeah, I love performing. I just love being on stage. I love singing. I I've been thinking lately about taking my acoustic guitar and starting to do like cover songs, or even like writing some original songs, probably in like the vein of horror punk, because that's what I love so much. Probably gonna think about wrapping this video up soon. I'm super drunk. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this drunk ramble. Maybe I'll do another one if you guys liked it. Let me know down below what you thought. I don't know if you have any responses to any of the things I said. If I do this again, I'll make like some talking points so I'm not all over the place, just like talking about myself and all this random junk. But yeah, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys soon. Have a great night, guys.